Dear students, today we shall start a new topic, that is electrostatic potential and capacitance. This is another important topic for the examination point of view. This is of 9 hours duration and you can expect questions up to 8 marks from this particular chapter. See, in the introduction to electrostatics, I told you that charge is analogous quantity as that of mass. See here, charge and mass, these two are analogous. They are similar type of quantities. Of course, there are some differences. Charge exists as two types, positive and negative, whereas mass has no two different kinds. And further, the force between charges is either attractive or repulsive, but whereas in case of mass, force between masses is always attractive. Like that, there are some differences. But you can understand the various concepts in electrostatics by comparing similar type of things in gravitation. See here, there is a charge Q. Here you have a point mass M. This charge is surrounded by its own electric field. Similarly, any mass is surrounded by its own gravitational field. Because of interaction between electric fields, there will be force between two charges. Similarly, due to interaction between gravitational fields, there will be attractive force between masses. Usually, we do not feel the force between masses because gravitational force is quite small, whereas the force between charges can be easily felt because the electric force is almost to 10 to the power of 36 times stronger than the gravitational force. Therefore, one can easily experience or observe the electrostatic force very easily, whereas this gravitational force is not perceptible unless the mass is extremely large. So if you take Earth is a heavy body, it has got enormous mass, almost 10 to the power of 24 kg. So Earth has got gravitational field. And further, if there is a body of mass m at a height h from the surface of the Earth, this body has got potential energy. So this potential energy, it is given by mgh. That means a mass present in the gravitational field has got potential energy. How we measure this potential energy? It is the amount of work done in raising the body from this initial position to final position. So whatever work is done in raising the body from this position to this position, that work done appears as potential energy. So a mass in the gravitational field has got potential energy. Exactly similar to this, here there is a charge Q. Due to this charge Q, there is electric field. So if I have to bring another charge into the electric field of this charge, I need to do work. So, in the theory you already learned that due to a point charge, electric field becomes zero only at infinity. Therefore, from this charge, another charge do not experience force at infinity. So if there is some other charge at infinity, due to this charge, it do not experience any force. But when this charge is to be brought from infinity to some point in the electric field of this charge, then work has to be done. So here there is a charge q which is brought from infinity to this point against the electric field of this charge. So due to this charge, electric field is in this direction. So opposite to this electric field, let this charge q is brought from infinity to this point by doing some work. So whatever work is done in bringing this charge from infinity to this point against this electric field appears as potential energy of this charge. That means a charge which is there in the electric field always has got potential energy. Just like a mass in the gravitational field has got potential energy, a charge in the electric field has got potential energy. This potential energy is measured in the same way as here. It is the work done in bringing this charge from infinity to this point opposite to the direction of electric field. So, whatever work is done, that appears as potential energy here. So I told you that a charge kept in the electric field has got potential energy. Next, in the gravitation topic, you learned that potential energy per unit mass. This is called as gravitational potential. So this potential energy per unit mass means it is nothing but GH. So this gravitational potential, it is nothing but work done in moving unit mass from this point to this point. So that is given by G into H. Exactly the same way here, if I find the potential energy per charge kept in the electric field, this is called electrostatic potential of this charge at this particular point. Therefore, now we will come to the definition of this electrostatic potential. Electrostatic potential at a point in electric field is equal to amount of work done in moving a charge from infinity to that point opposite to the direction of electric field without acceleration. Understand? So due to this charge, there is a force of repulsion on this charge in this direction. When you apply equal amount of force in the opposite direction and move it from infinity to this point, then this charge will move from infinity to this point opposite to the electric field without acceleration. So this is the definition of electric potential at a point in electric field. I repeat, electric potential at any point in electric field is equal to amount of work done in moving a charge from infinity to that point opposite to the direction of electric field without acceleration. So this is the definition of electrostatic potential at a point in electric field. Next, the SI unit. The SI unit of this electric potential is V being W divided by Q. The unit is joule per second, joule per coulomb. This joule per coulomb, it is named after the scientist Volta, which is called volt. Symbolically represented as capital V. Then how to define this volt? If Q is equal to plus 1 coulomb, this V become equal to, if Q is equal to plus 1 coulomb and W is equal to 1 joule, then this V is said to be 1 volt. That means electric potential at a point in electric field, is said to be 1 volt. Electric potential at a point in electric field is said to be 1 volt. If 1 joule of work is done in moving a unit positive charge from infinity to that point opposite to the direction of electric field without acceleration. Understand? So, we take a unit positive charge. In moving this unit positive charge from infinity to this point, if 1 joule of work is done, then the potential at this point in the electric field is said to be 1 volt. So, this is the definition of volt. Next, this electric potential, it is different at different points in electric field. So, I am going to define potential difference. Here I consider there is a charge Q at O in air. Due to this charge, there is an electric field in this direction. So there is some point here and another point here. Let this point be A and this point is B. See, the potential at this point A is VA, the potential at this point B is VB. Because in the electric field, due to this charge, at different points the potential is different. Along the direction of electric field, electric potential is different at different points, because the work done in moving a charge from infinity to B, it is different from infinity to A. So the work done in moving a charge from infinity to A, it is more than work done in moving the charge from infinity to B. Therefore, this VA, it is greater than VB. So if I find the difference between these two, delta V, this is equal to VA minus VB. This delta V, it is called as potential difference. So potential difference means it is nothing but difference in electrostatic potential between 2 points in electric field. Here the potential is higher, here the potential is lower. So the difference in this electrostatic potential, it is called potential difference. So this potential difference is nothing but work done in moving a unit positive charge from one point to another point opposite to the direction of electric field. Understand? So what is the potential difference between A and B means? It is the work done in moving a unit positive charge from B to A opposite to the direction of electric field without acceleration. So in moving a unit positive charge from B to A without acceleration, whatever work is done, that work done will become potential difference between the 2 points. So this potential difference, This is also measured in the same unit because this is in volt, this is in volt. So when you find the difference, that will also be in volt. So volt is also unit for potential difference. What is the dimensional formula? What is the dimensional formula for this? Work done is m L square p power minus 2 and the charge is AT. So this is the dimensional formula. So it becomes m L square a power minus 1 p power minus 3. That is the dimensional formula for electric potential or potential difference. And further, this work done is a scalar, charge is a scalar, therefore electric potential is a scalar quantity. So this is about the concept of potential energy possessed by a charge in electric field and electrostatic potential at a point in electric field. So whenever a charge is there in the electric field, it has got potential energy. That potential energy per unit charge at that point will give you electric potential at that point. So that electric potential is measured like this. It is the amount of work done in moving a unit positive charge from infinity to the given point opposite to the direction of electric field without acceleration. So potential is equal to work done per unit charge. Therefore, in any problem, if you are asked to calculate the amount of work done in moving a charge, then immediately you have to get this equation, W is equal to Q into V. So, work done in moving a charge W is equal to Q into V. What is the kinetic energy acquired by a charged particle when it moves through a potential difference V? Then also it is the same formula, half mv square is equal to Q into V. So in this chapter, majority of the problems you are going to solve by using this relation only. See, in the previous chapter, that is the force and field, force F is equal to Q into E. F and E both are vectors in the same direction. F is equal to Q into E. In the same way here, W is equal to Q into V. So work done in moving a charge Q through a potential difference V, it is given by this equation. So that equation has come from these particular points. So this is about the concept of electric potential. Next we have to find electric potential at a point due to a point charge. This is a very important derivation for 5 marks in the annual examination. In every alternate board examination, you will find this question. Find the electric potential at a point due to a point charge. So first let us consider a point charge Q at O. Due to this point charge, there is an electric field. I consider a point P here, distant R, given by this position vector. So P is a point distant R from this charge Q. So at this point there is electric field and also there will be electric potential. That potential you have to find here. So consider a charge Q at O in air or in vacuum. whatever it may be. Let P be a point distant R from O. Now to find the electric potential here, by definition electrostatic potential at P, electric potential or electrostatic potential both are one and the same. By definition electrostatic potential at P, it is nothing but amount of work done in moving a unit positive charge from infinity to this point opposite to the direction of electric field without acceleration. So to find the potential at P, let me consider another point A, distant x from O. Now at this point A, let us keep a unit positive charge here, +1 coulomb. The force on this unit positive charge, it is given by Coulomb's law. So here let a unit positive charge, that means +1 coulomb, be kept at A, distant x from O. Force on this unit positive charge is F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q into 1 divided by R square. If I write it in vector form, so it is R cap. So this is the direction of this force. So force on the unit positive charge is this much, it is in this direction. Now let this unit positive charge be moved from A to B through a small distance dx by doing external work. So here I am considering a small distance dx. Let this unit positive charge be moved from A to B through a small distance dx opposite to the direction of this force. So work done in moving +1 coulomb from A to B against the direction of force dW. So by definition work done is F dot dx. So F dot dx means it is F dx cos 180 degree. The dot product of two vectors is given by F dx cos theta, where theta is the angle between these two. F is in this direction, dx is in this direction. Therefore the angle between them is 180 degree. So this is minus F dx. So dW is equal minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by x square dx. Q by x square dx. Now total work done in moving +1 coulomb from x is equal to infinity to x is equal to R. See, this electric force, it is variable. Force is not uniform from A to B. It is a variable. when we consider the distance dx to be very small, in this small region force is considered to be a constant. That is why we are written it like this. Actually this force is not constant, it is a variable, it varies with respect to distance. However, the distance under consideration being very small, here this force is considered to be a constant. Therefore, in moving this through a small distance dx, this is the work done. So total work done in moving unit positive charge from x is equal to infinity to x is equal to r. This w is given by integral infinity to r dw. That means integral infinity to r minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by x square dx. So here you take out these constant terms outside, q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught integral infinity to r 1 by x square dx. This 1 by x square, integral of 1 by x square is minus 1 by x. So you substitute these limits now. This minus and minus, it becomes plus q by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by r minus 1 by infinity. This 1 by infinity is 0. Therefore, this will become 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by r. So this is the total work done in moving unit positive charge from infinity to r. By definition, this work done is nothing but potential, electrostatic potential at P. Therefore, by definition, this work done, it is equal to electrostatic potential. So therefore, this V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. This is the final expression for electrostatic potential at a point distant r from a charge q. This is what you are supposed to write in the examination when this question is asked for 5 marks. First you mention these points here. P be a point distant r from this charge q. So to find the potential here, you consider another point A where you kept unit positive charge. The force on this unit positive charge is given by this equation. So where this r cap is a unit vector directed away from this charge. Now if this unit positive charge is to be moved through a small distance dx, what is to be done? So work done in moving unit positive charge from A to B, it is given by this equation. So total work done in moving it from infinity to r is given by integrating this equation from infinity to r. So from that consideration, finally you will get this equation. So this is the expression for electric potential at a point distant r from a charge q. From this expression, you can make out these following points. The first thing is, for V to be 0, this r must be infinity. That means at r is equal to infinity, this V becomes 0. That means due to a point charge, electric potential can become 0 only at infinite distance from the charge. So you already learned that from a point charge, electric field becomes 0 at infinity. So also the potential becomes 0 at infinity. That means due to a point charge at infinity, both field as well as potential become 0. So this is the first thing. Second thing is, the charge that you considered here being positive, you got this equation. Had it been a negative charge, then this potential would be minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. because potential is a scalar quantity. When the charge is positive, potential is positive. When the charge is negative, potential is negative. So, for this charge minus q, this potential will become 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by r. The third point is, in case of a charged spherical conductor, like this. So for charged spherical shell, if I consider a point distant more than radius, that means for r greater than r, the charge on the spherical shell act like a point charge. Therefore, this potential, it is given by the same equation, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by r. So, for a charged spherical shell, you learn that for every point outside the spherical shell, the charge on it act like a point charge at the center. Therefore, for a spherical shell having charge q at a point distant r, this is the expression for potential, same as this one. So this is about electric potential due to isolated point charge, single point charge. Next, we can also find the electric potential due to system of charges. At a point due to system of charges. Here I consider many charges, Q1, Q2, Q3, say Qn. There are n number of charges. So due to each charge there will be electric field, correspondingly there will be electric potential. Now the potential at any point due to a system of charges is given by the principle of superposition. This principle of superposition says that electrostatic potential at any point due to number of charges is equal to sum, algebraic sum of potentials at the point due to individual charges. So here, electrostatic potential at a point due to number of charges, it is equal to sum or algebraic sum of electric potential at that point due to individual charges. So here I consider this distance to be R1, R2, R3, and this is Rn. So let R1, R2, Rn be distance of point P from Q1, Q2, Qn respectively. Therefore, the electric potential at P, that is Vp, it is equal to electric potential due to the first charge, due to the second charge, third charge, and so on up to n charge. Here, remember, In case of electric field, we write vector sum because electric field is a vector quantity. But this potential being a scalar, simply we write that sum or algebraic sum. So in that case, you get the equation like this. So potential at P due to the first charge Q1 is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 divided by R1 according to the previous derivation which we did. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 by R2 and so on. The last one is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Qn by R. I can express this as a summation, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught sigma I is equal to 1 to n Qi divided by R. So this is the expression for potential at a point due to a system of charges or multiple charges. This question was also asked in the annual examination once for 3 marks. Find the electric potential at a point due to multiple charges. Then you consider this principle of superposition, you write this equation and finally you mention this equation. For this statement 1 mark will be there, for writing this formula here 1 mark will be there, and for final expression 1 mark will be there. So like that you have to write the answer for 3 marks in the annual examination. In a similar way, you can also find the electric potential at a point due to electric dipole. See, here is a dipole. This is minus Q, this is plus Q, this point is O. This is 2A. So this is some point here. P, distance R, represented by the position vector R. So making an angle theta with the direction of dipole moment. Now this electric potential at a point due to electric dipole, it is given by this equation 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by R square cos theta. This derivation is not there in your syllabus. Only mention of expression for electric potential due to a dipole, it is there. So by considering the principle of superposition, by taking electric potential at this point due to this charge and by taking potential at this point due to this charge, by adding those two, you will get this equation. By taking the geometry into consideration, if you carry the derivation, finally you will get this equation. Further, this potential is a scalar, this is a vector, so therefore in vector form this can be written like this. Vector P dot r cap divided by r square, where r cap is a unit vector, r cap is a unit vector along OP. Or otherwise you can also write that the same thing can also be written like this: 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught vector P dot vector r divided by r cube. You can also write it like this. Both are one and the same. So this is the expression for electric potential at a point due to a dipole. Now from this expression, for a point on the axis, if I consider any point on the axis here or here, this theta will become 0 degree. If I consider this point here, theta becomes 0 degree. Then this cos 0 is 1, the potential will become 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P divided by R square. Similarly, for a point on equatorial line, this theta is equal to 90 degree. Therefore, this V becomes 0 because cos 90 is 0. Or otherwise, if you consider any point on this equatorial line, that point will be equidistant from this charge and this charge. Magnitude of charge is same, distance is same. Due to the negative charge, potential is negative. Due to the positive charge, potential is positive. So therefore, the net potential will become 0. So at every point on this equatorial line, the potential will be 0. So equipotential line on the dipole is a zero potential point, zero potential line. So at any point on the axis, this is the potential. At any point on the equatorial line, the potential is 0. So far you learned what is electric potential, potential at a point due to a point charge, potential due to system of charges, potential due to a dipole. So we shall continue from here in the next class.